Can ODIs prepare you for the T20I game? That's a question I'm asking today on the Daily Show. And a lot of guys in the chat will probably be able to answer the question. I see that two people have already answered the question. But we're going to go in a little bit deeper on this topic. I'm going to chat a little bit more on this topic and try to get an understanding of whether this can be the case or not, because obviously very different formats. I think that for bowlers and for batsmen, you have to take two separate strategies, and we probably have to talk about them separately. Where you bat in the batting lineup will probably also play its part. And seeing that South Africa are playing ODIs first up against Ireland, I thought that this would be a nice topic to talk about, because we're trying to distinguish what is important and what is not important when it comes to limited overs cricket for South Africa. Now, there's a lot we can talk about. There's much we can discuss, because we had Rassie's press conference today, of course, and he obviously answered this question first up. So me and Aditya are going to chat about it a little bit more in depth, try to get an understanding of it and see where this conversation takes us. So let's get into it. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, guys, so help me get there. Click subscribe if you're new. Click that notification bell for all future videos as well. And smash that like button, comment and share with all your friends and family, all the cricket fans in South Africa that you know. Send them this link so that we can get this discussion going even after the video is done. So let's get straight into today's video. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is my co-host, Aditya. And this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Today, there's not going to be a lot about the squad selection and selection purpose and all of those type of stuff, because that's for tomorrow's preview show that we will be doing tomorrow evening. So we got a full panel for you once again, and we're going to discuss it in depth, and we're going to try to give you our teams and who we would like to see play in the match. Rassie did touch on it, so let's just get that out of the way before we get into today's discussion. He couldn't obviously give away the team news and what they know about things. He doesn't know much about it. That's the selector's job. That's what the card they'll always play. So Tinus was very brave to ask the question because he knew that it wasn't going to be answered, but you can get some sort of idea. And there was an idea that came through this, and that is because of the pressure that the ICC has now put on teams because of the new rulings that people need to win a certain amount of games to qualify for the World Cup. Every single game in the ODI format is now important. So because of that, they need to rack up wins. And if that's the case, then we know what Boucher is going to be doing for this particular ODI series. It's as simple as that. It's based on who's available. There's nothing currently to put in place to say that certain players can't play unless they are not fit. Other than that, there's nothing else keeping them away. There's no IPL keeping them away or any other tournaments that are keeping them away from this particular game. So we'll probably see a full-strength team on what Boucher thinks is his full-strength team. Now, you guys might say, alas, that suck for your side because your players might not be picked, but it gives us a lot to discuss. So it makes our streams a lot more entertaining if we do have that team that Boucher decides is his best 11. So let's get into today's discussion. Welcome to the show, Aditya. As I said again, good to see you as per usual. Let's talk about this because I can see some people in the comments already said yes to the question, because ultimately it's limited overs cricket. But from my perspective, I look at it as two completely different formats. Now, for Rassie, maybe, yes, he can really learn how to his game plan because he has more time to bat. For Aiden Markram, if he opens the batting, for Quinton de Kock, for the guys that are batting high up the order, they get a lot more overs to get used to things, and they get a lot more overs to actually get themselves set and then to kick on. Like Rassie said in his press conference today, he said that in ODI cricket, there's a lot more overs for you to set yourself in and then kick on. So you can work on your game plans a lot more in depth. The managers and the coaches and the staff can all look at you and analyze your game a lot longer because there's more balls for you to face unless you go out quickly. So it's up to you. Actually, this is in your hands this time around. T20 cricket, you get about 10 to 15 overs to actually kick on and score, he said. So the pressure is a lot more on the batsman to be able to play. He never mentioned anything about bowlers. I think that the pressure is on bowlers a lot more in T20 cricket than it is in ODI cricket. That's my personal opinion on this one. Aditya, what do you think about this? The ODI game, can you learn about your game to help you in the T20 format with this particular two formats?
You can. And I agree with Rassie's response to that question, because he said that it gives players more time to really figure out where they are with their games. And it's particularly important for this series because you have 3 ODIs and then you have 3 T20s on the bounce. And therefore, the form that the players can get into in the ODI series will come in handy in the T20 series as well. Because let's not forget, these days, a 50-over game is almost an extension of a T20 in a lot of ways, because you look at the run rate that teams tend to have in the last 5 to 7 overs. You're essentially going at the same rate that you would in a T20 game. It's not uncommon for teams to score 100 in the last 10. So that's generally what happens in a T20 also. So certainly for lower order batsmen, 5, 6, and 7, it may not be as much of an issue, but I suppose it helps them when they have more time to bat in an ODI series when they're not in form, as we've seen with Miller and a couple of others in the West Indies.
Interesting points there, because I've heard it from coaches actually as well, that in 50-over cricket and test cricket, there is stuff that you can learn about your game in 50-over cricket. I was told that by some coaches when we're talking about the younger players, of course, that there's enough time in ODI cricket to be able to get to know your game, for you to bat and get to know your game, so that you can use some of those things in test cricket when you approach your test cricket innings down the line. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily for all batsmen. My concern is that the area on the pitch, or the time in the game, sorry, not in the pitch, the time in the game that you can really learn your skills is particularly the openers in the power play, because the power play is longer, so you have more opportunity to actually practice your attacking shots and exploiting the gaps, etc. So because the power play is longer than in T20 cricket, you have a lot more time to be able to set yourself and go for it. And as well as finishes, I think the finishers will have a similar type of understanding if they last long enough, you know what I mean, to get there. So yes, I guess it depends on what game plan you have. So if Boucher comes out here and says, look, you guys, we're going to approach the ODI game with the same aggression, the same smart game plans that we want to have in ODI cricket as we do in T20 cricket, then I can see a correlation over there. But if they're going to switch up the way they play ODI cricket compared to T20 cricket, then there might not be, because then you might need to change your game a lot for the ODIs compared to T20 cricket. I think batsmen obviously learn a lot more. Bowlers, I think a coach can learn a lot from the bowlers in ODI cricket, because you have more opportunities now to actually watch how they take pressure, because you can have an argument for both sides. If it's shorter, you have 4 overs, it's done. You know it's going to be over in 4. But if you have 10 or 8 overs, it's a lot more. It shows your endurance, it shows your accuracy, it shows your ability to put the ball on the exact spot that you want to. It shows your ability over a long period of time. I think 4 overs is almost too little to see what skill set the person has. Whereas in ODI cricket, you can actually really set up a batsman from over to over to over, and you have a lot more overs to do so. So it's particularly our spinners. We want to see what our George Linders have to offer and stuff like that, because will he be able to be consistent for 10 overs in international cricket, because you can be a little bit, you can have more variety in T20 cricket because there's a lot shorter, less amount of time, or little, can't even talk tonight. There's less time for you to actually go ahead and practice your skills over there. So, yeah, which players do you think are going to learn the most about the game, Aditya, in this particular, in the ODIs? Me personally, I think Rassie. I think he will, but I also think Temba and whoever's going to open the batting with Quinton de Kock ultimately. I think people are calling for Temba for 3 maybe. I know that he's opened before with Quinny, so I would like to see what happens over there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Aiden Markram, this could be the defining series for him in his ODI career. This can be the series where he really sort of figures out his game. You know, because against tougher opposition, it's going to be difficult. And that's not to say that Ireland will not challenge South Africa. They would. Ireland is a solid team. A lot of their players play county cricket in England, yeah, during the English summers. So it's not like they aren't exposed to high quality competition. There's a reason they're called they're called world beaters in ICC tournaments. So Ireland is a good team, and we'll have to see how they go in home conditions. But I don't think South Africa should make the mistake of thinking that they're just going to be pushovers. I don't think that's going to happen. But in saying that, like you said, it's an important series for Rassie as well. Just to consolidate on his form, he's been brilliant in ODI cricket for South Africa. Same with Temba. I think Temba needs to, at number 3. Temba needs to get into the habit of scoring hundreds regularly. He scored a 90 over against Pakistan in that series earlier this year. He was excellent, but I do think we need to see more 140s and 150s from Temba, and I'd say the same about Aiden as well. So yeah, I think from batting point of view, certainly Aiden and Temba, the top order. Then the middle order, very important. We need to see 5, 6, and 7. Really set the tone. For the second half of the innings, and they need to be scoring at the international standard rate now. That's going to be very important.
Yeah, and maybe for Temba it can be a great visit for him. Maybe he can get some deja vu, because obviously he scored his debut century, or his maiden century, on debut against Ireland, 113 back in the day. So hopefully he can see the same type of result this time around. I think he needs some centuries and some big scores for him to actually get the fans on his side. Because I think that the fans are quite skewed when it comes to Temba Bavuma, and some may be a little bit uncertain. And also, I'd really like to see what he can do as a captain in the longer format. He has now 50 overs to really I think there's a room to breathe in the 50 over game as a captain, more so than in T20 cricket. I feel that your mistakes are highlighted in T20 cricket a lot more. You don't really have an opportunity to to actually focus on. You have a lot more time to focus on your game right now than and to make decisions, and a lot more chance open up for opportunities to make mistakes and recover from them a lot more in this particular game. I actually don't know if Timba has opened with Quinny before. I'm just trying to check the stats over here to just remember. From my recollection, actually, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I think he's only opened up once. As far as I remember, he only played 2 matches opening the batting, and I think one of them was in Ireland, when he scored that century. So he did, I think, as one against Bangladesh in East London, I think if I remember correctly. But he's opened up the batting only twice, I think, with Quinton de Kock. I think it was on his debut when he scored 113, and then again in 2017, um, he scored a 48, opening the batting as well, against Bangladesh, also with Quinton de Kock. So let's see. Maybe he has the opportunity to be able to do that again. Maybe they will. Um, Maybe they will do it. Maybe we'll do it again. I know that. I know that the first game against was that he scored his century. I know against Ireland it wasn't in Ireland, but I mean at least you can get the fact that it's the same opposition. I mean they played in Benoni, but at least maybe he can get something. Maybe he can get something similar again, just because it's the same opposition. I don't know. I'm hoping that everybody performs well. But my only problem is now, DJ, I'm a bit worried now about guys like Kyle Verreynne and guys like Lazard Williams. I'm a bit, I don't know. I'm a bit cautious on whether they will start or not. That's my only my only problem. Because in ODI cricket, I mean, Janneman Malan has stepped up. I mean, we have so many openers that I would like to see. Aiden Markram is excellent. You see, I know you said against better opposition, Aiden Markram, right? I don't think Aiden Markram's lack in converting has got to do with opposition. I think it's more of a understanding of his own game and a mental thing. Because even against the good opposition, he's gotten off to good starts. Even against India in that time when they came here and he was captain, he got off to some good starts, but then he just completely throws his wicket away. And he does it so often. We need him to now convert it. Whatever he's taken away from the T20 game, I'm hoping that he took something away, because he's converting there like crazy. He's pushing on over there. I mean, already 4 or 5, I think four half centuries already in the T20 arena. So, like, I mean, he's converting there under a lot more pressure. So I'm just hoping now that he has more time. I think he needs to think of this differently to how he thinks about the T20 game. So the T20 game is rushing him, or maybe he needs to think of it exactly the same like the T20s and less like a test match. I don't know. Obviously everything overlaps and bleeds into each other, and overlaps, but let's see what happens. I think we'll only know what happens until they pick the team. You can see that I'm very uncertain in what I'm saying, guys, because we haven't played Ireland a lot. I don't know what to expect from Ireland. The only guy I really know there very well is Camphor. I know how dangerous he can be, and obviously we've interviewed him on the channel. So I don't watch them enough to be able to give you an understanding. That's why we're getting Irish guys and Irish fans on the show tomorrow evening, so that they can give us some insight into that side of the team. Okay, Aditya, final thoughts from you.
We talked about the fact that every game is important and teams have to win in order to get those points to qualify for the World Cup. So Bowser might be tempted to play his best 11 every single time, but
100%.
But he has to be realistic in that players need rest at times, and it's equally important to take that risk and give Kyle Verreynne an opportunity, give Lazard Williams an opportunity, because if that doesn't happen and you keep playing KG gets injured, then what's going to happen? You know, you've got Lazard Williams who's been sitting on the bench, who's been warming the bench for quite a while, and then suddenly he comes up and he's a bit underconfident going in there because he hasn't played enough for long enough. So
I hope they don't do something like that.
Exactly. So it's important for Boucher to be sort of sensible about that sort of thing.
Yeah, and also, you don't want a situation again like last time when we put all our eggs in one basket. We wanted to bowl our teams. We wanted this ruthless bowling attack, and then all our bowlers got injured. Lungi, Andrich, and KG all were injured before the World Cup. Now your guys that are in line are not ready. I mean, Bjorn Hendricks flew up like a couple of days before the opening day of the World Cup. I mean, before the opening game of South Africa. So, like, you can't be having a situation like that. People need to be ready, and you need to give them game time so they can be ready. Especially bowlers. Bowlers need rhythm. it helps a lot, that rhythm, and getting success over a short period of time. So that's very important. And I should know, I'm not scared of Ireland. I'm saying I don't know enough about Ireland to talk about them, and I'm not sure about the opposition enough to be able to say which players we can give an opportunity and which we can't. So that's my situation. I think Lazard Williams. I think Lazard Williams is so good that it doesn't count as playing a second string bowler, because he's good enough to play in the first team, in my opinion. I think he's as good as Andrich, he's as good as Lungi. I mean, even better, or even better, he's come across like his aggression, his mindset, his mentality, his hunger to win. It's all embedded in him. So, like, he is a perfect. He's not. I don't see him as a replacement. I just see there's maybe no space. That's why they can't play him, or whatever the case may be. Bevan, we're going to be doing our predictions tomorrow, so please tune in for our preview show tomorrow for that particular show, so that we're going to discuss that. What time did we say that was going to be now, Aditya? 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's 6 o'clock. I think I said 6 o'clock. Let me just double check quickly to tell you guys, because I originally made it 8 and then I changed it because of the Springbok game. But then the Springbok game was cancelled because Umpo couldn't make it. So I just want to check what time I told the guys. 6 South African Standard Time. So we're going to be doing, and there's a reason why also, because if Offside Maidens comes out, it's 8. So we want to give full exposure to that. So 6 o'clock South African Standard Time, we will be doing a preview show. I don't think we'll be doing a daily show that day, because me and Aditya are going to be dead after that. It's going to be a hectic preview show discussing everything from our ODIs perspective. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, and do all of those things for me. But also subscribe to the magazine. The link is on the screen now, and it's in the description. We're working on an excellent issue this week, trying to get it out for you on Monday. It's all about Test cricket. We've got some excellent insight into the game, to red ball cricket, some excellent interviews, etc. So please go ahead and check that out. I also posted a new video on Farisco Adams today, an excellent story about that. It really inspired me. It really got into my heart, really, I must say, because his story is so amazing, and the amount he's giving back to cricket, etc., with the fame that he's gotten from the sport, and from such a small town that he has come from, the struggle that he came from to get where he is. So it's really, really an awesome video for you guys to watch, just to get some insight into a South African cricketer that you guys might not know a lot about, but someone that is very much treasured in the Boland region, and especially in the Cape Town Boland region. He was also, everywhere he played, he was loved. So an excellent person, a humble human being, and a very competitive guy as well. Thanks a lot for tuning, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow with a preview show. And of course, remember, don't forget the Offside Maiden show in the evening. Take care and enjoy your evening, and we'll speak to you guys very, very, very soon. Enjoy your night and good evening. Sleep tight, don't let the big bites bite. Sweet dreams, everybody.